Music. I'd like to have some music if I could.
Hello, peoples. This is I,
Joko's head floating around.
Hello, candidates. Hello, my IELTS people.
It is I, it is son.
I am the headless tutor.
No, wait. I am the bodiless tutor. I ain't got nobody. Nobody can take me away. That's the cool thing about a green screen. It's like, I've got the cloak of invisibility. Anyway, so I've been doing some fun things here lately on the old internet. Dun dun dun. Hi folks, Joko here, and tonight we're going to be looking at an opinion essay. To what extent do you agree or disagree type question. And I did a video about how to approach this type of question. If you want to go back and look at it, you have to wait till the end. I'll put a link to it. Now, as I say in that video, one of the most important things is to identify what it is. Why am I wearing headphones when the sound is just out here like this? All right. What you need to identify is what is it exactly that you're being asked to agree or disagree with. Okay? And then who are the people are we talking about? Where, when, that sort of thing. It may seem like you understand the question, and yet only after you've written the essay, when someone explains to you that, well, this question actually meant this other thing than what you were talking about, do people go, oh yeah, of course, oh right. So don't underestimate the importance of thoroughly reading and understanding the question, paraphrasing the question, not just for the concept of writing a first sentence, but paraphrase the question so that you can put it in your own words to gain a better understanding. Okay, so this question, I rarely get questions that require so much of my marking in the question itself, in terms of the different colors that we use because of language errors in the question. I recognize this as being a descendant, as a sort of a follow down from an actual question that was correct at one point, but it's been changed so many times by various IELTS schools trying to sell their product that it bears little resemblance to its original form. Nowadays, there is a trend that reports, not that reports is not a verb here, not clear, but that it's a noun, the reports of media. Okay, you can only take certain nouns and put them in order next to each other. They have to collocate very well. But just because they can do that doesn't mean you can go back the other way to the things that collocate less. Media reports is strong collocation. To say reports of media sounds weird. So, but it's not the same words, and so they can avoid copyright laws. Reports of media focus on problems and emergencies rather than positive. The positive other stories, such as, can we have some examples? No. Some people think it is harmful. What is it? Media, okay, so that's a plural. Reports, that's a plural. That positive is unknown. What is it? I don't know. It is harmful to individuals and to society. You don't need that second too. Individuals and society. Whatever. What if society is made up of individuals? To what extent do you agree or disagree with what? That the media focuses on problems and emergencies rather than positive things? Is that what we're being asked to agree or disagree with? No. That is the premise. Okay? The thing that we're asked is it harmful to society and individuals? How can you be harmful? Okay. That's what we're being asked. So, okay, let's reverse it and say things like individuals as well as the society is harmed by too much negative reporting, right? And when compared to too much compared to positive reporting. Yeah, that makes sense, right? Okay, so do you need to discuss both the reportage of negative as well as positive, or can you just focus on one of them? No, you need to focus on both. You need to talk about both. Not the positive and negative of the trend, but the positive and negative reporting. Firstly, okay, so Anjana Sundaram. You'll notice a lot of yellow on this page. I'm sorry to tell you that you have a condition. You have a disease that is very common amongst well-schooled people in the Indian subcontinent. Not just the country, but the whole South Asia. You've got a case of Synonymania. I'm sorry. But someone along the line told you that you have to replace every word you can with a synonym. And this will demonstrate your vast level of vocabulary, and you'll get a great score. Wrong. That's not what you need to do. You can't just put words in for other words. They are different words for a meaning, for a reason. Synonyms are very rare. Really, they are true synonyms that mean the exact same thing. So whenever you're changing one thing and then another thing and another thing inside of a sentence, there's no chance that it's going to mean the same thing when you change three things. Because let's have a look. Okay, being updated on. Updated means that you have already learned of it and you are just getting further additional information. That's an update. Oh, I knew about that. But no, we don't mean update. We mean learning. On the latest mishaps. No. A mishap is a minor accident, a mistake. Yeah, mishap, mistake, fairly close. A lot closer than emergencies and problems. A mishap is a small thing. Mishap. Okay, been happening. All right, so we'll go grammar here. Mishaps that have been happening around us. Don't use the first person plural pronoun. We, us, I, my. Well, there's exceptions to I and my, but we and us and you. Academic writing is not meant to be personal. It's meant to be impersonal. So we're not talking about us. We're talking about people. Happening today is extremely important. However, learning about can't use however that way. Right? Yeah. No. However does not belong in the middle of a sentence. It's at the beginning of a sentence. So it's important. Full stop. However, new sentence. Comma. Learning about various achievements, such as, would help us stay us again. Stay positive and motivated. Why? We'll find out, right? Because you're going to talk about it. Some people believe that the former, the first of two things, must be the mishaps. I have to think about it. To be dangerous. Oh, I said harmful. That's not dangerous, that's harmful. Harmful and dangerous are not the same thing. To the commoners. Here. My dear, we have not used that word for commoners for well over 100 years, my dear. No. Commoners is an anachronism. It's old. To the general public, to the average person, to society. We don't say commoners. That's a leftover from, we never had commoners where I came from. It's a caste system. Okay. And I assume that's just a typo, that you didn't capitalize I, absolutely agree with that fact. It's not a fact. It's a view. You can't call it a fact. You haven't established that yet. Or even done anything to say that it's anything but just a thought. It's now a fact. What is that fact? I don't even know here. And you agree that it's dangerous. Okay, so lots of things are dangerous. What does that mean? And the following paragraphs would shed some light on the reasons for my opinion, if I manage to write about it. Why would? Will. You don't need to, no second conditional there. Will shed some light. I see this in more and more essays, meaning that somebody out there, like a Simon or a Liz or someone has said, oh, this is a nice turn of phrase, shed some light on. No, you know what? It's rather informal. Shed some light on. Shed some light to discuss some minor things. Shed light on. I'd rather you state your reasons here. Okay, you know, some people believe that, and I absolutely agree with that fact. And you got 3 clauses. Okay. It's not going well. BP1. Firstly, it has become a tradition. Really, a tradition. I'm behind these words here. A tradition. You sure you want to call it a tradition? You should know what a tradition is. For media owners, not the program directors, the owners are getting directly involved. They're picking what goes on the news. The owners. How about just the media? To showcase. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, coming up at 11 o'clock, an airplane crash. Yeah! Showcases a positive thing that shows the best parts of something. Chaos. Showcase what chaos? Why the chaos? To grab the public's attention in order to showcase the chaos, to grab the public's attention in order to do this, to do that. There has to be a limit in the number of phrases that you use to talk about why. Okay, we call that to. They showcase the chaos. Why? To grab the public's attention. Period. To go then in order to boost their channel's television rating point. It's not very smooth. It doesn't flow. Coherence and cohesion. And media owners are including things like newspapers and billboard owners, and there's lots of media. There's television, there's radio, but they're going to boost their channel's television rating point. Their channel's ratings. That's all you need to say. Or to increase the revenue by selling more number of newspapers. How about just selling more newspapers? Moreover, already. Okay. So one really long and awkward sentence is all you're going to do on that point? As a rule of thumb, you don't want to just write one sentence, no matter how complex it is, about one position, right? That's your first position. Media owners showcase the chaos to get ratings. You could go on and talk about that some more. But no, instead we have a moreover, which scares me because moreover means additionally and more importantly. Let's see if it's more important, shall we? Telecasting. Nope, that's not a lexical item that is in common use. No one talks about telecasting. Moreover, telecasting only the tragedies. Is that what the question's about? Does it say only the tragedies? No. It says focus on. Focus on does not mean only. Tends to create a lot of anxiety and negativity in people. Okay. Further, this affects their peace and tranquility. Further is not a connector. So, I don't even know. Furthermore, this affects their peace, spelled wrong, and tranquility. Peace and tranquility. It's a good collocation. Those words go together. When you're talking about, like, a place, it's a peaceful and tranquil. No. Which, in turn, spelled wrong, it'd be 2 words, could. No, but that's the thing. In turn means it does. Okay, this turns that. In turn means leads to. There's no could involved. Right. Could affect their mental well-being. Well, of course. It affects their peace and tranquility, which affects their mental well-being. No, they're the same thing. Peace and tranquility is your mental well-being. So the sentence has no value other than to show off that you know the word mental well-being. Don't let your writing be shaped by your vocabulary. Don't try to fit words in. Don't let your sentences be paths down some showcase of lexical items. No, writing needs to flow. Whatever words come along for the ride, that's what you should be writing. All right. For example, okay? For example, what? Mental anxiety. Telecasting, right, TVs. And they're owned by these media owners. Okay. Recently, an issue. No, not an issue. An issue is what we're talking about here. An issue is not an emergency. An issue was telecasted again around the clock by various news channels in India regarding a rescue operation of a 2-year-old. Well, why do we say various news channels? Well, just news channels? Round the clock by a 2-year-old child who had accidentally fallen into a bore well. Oh, good. This sounds like the opportunity for a wonderful story about a child being rescued. When the operation failed, and the child rescued dead, I'm sorry, it's tragic, but you can't rescue someone dead. Rescue means they didn't die. Rescue means they lived, recovered dead. Many faint-hearted people were extremely disturbed. I think everyone was disturbed. It sounds like a tragedy. But the faint-hearted people more so than others. And that eventually led to depression. So your aunt told you. Where's the support for this idea? And you know what? When it comes to talking about greediness in television, and they want to broadcast scandalous things, and that was your first point, was that they do it for ratings. Okay? And you know, and this is a child trapped in a well not only has great suspense, but it also has the wonderful end where, in most cases, the children or minors or whatever are recovered alive. Last year, Thailand. No one in the world missed that one. Actually, I shouldn't say that. My boss missed it. Now, what are you talking about? Yeah, the 14 kids in the cave in Thailand, stuck for 10 days. And they rescued them. And it was a feel-good story for the whole country and the whole world. And so to think that, why did the newspapers and television cover it? Because you get to have that happy moment where everyone gets rescued. It's kind of the opposite of what you're talking about. All right, and they were extremely disturbed. That led to depression. Really? Aunt Betsy, what are you so sad about? Oh, that child. Oh, in the well. Oh, in the hole. Auntie, that was 3 weeks ago. Get over it. You didn't even know who the girl was. I'm sorry. I'm a faint-hearted person. Really? Secondly, publishing the forensics report of a crime scene. No. Nobody is publishing the forensic reports of crime scenes. Okay, a forensic report is the position of the body and the size of the bullet holes and the number of times someone was stabbed and the exact fingerprints that were found. That's the forensic report. You're trying to fit vocabulary into places that they do not belong to the public without any authorization. In where I live, will land you in jail. You will go to prison for releasing police information without authorization. Famous case, 2 journalists with the violence going on against the population here. They reported it. It was a police report. They did anyway. I just want a counterexample, but yields a lot of revenue. How? To media agencies, since it interests people. Oh, so they get better ratings. Your second point is the same point as your first point. Also shouldn't go at the beginning of the sentence. Sharing such bloody visuals. Okay, we use the word such to mean very, in some cases, but also as a referencing device to previous things. The forensic reports, how do we know they're bloody? And they're not visuals either. Bloody visuals and reports could obnoxiously, no, that word doesn't belong there, obnoxiously disturb. You've said the word disturb several times. Some people, and pushes them to distress. And they are distressed. In addition, it could certainly provoke the ones that are deeply troubled to attempt a similar crime. What crime? What are you talking about? We don't have any specifics here. It's a proven fact. No. Your essay is not made stronger by making up facts, no matter how strong you claim them to be. It's a proven fact as per the statistics shared by an international mental institute. Okay, so a place where the crazy people are kept, where 58% of their patients were exposed to crimes at their early days of their lives. Exposed to? Were victims of? Watched it on TV? I'm trying to think, was I exposed to a crime at an early age in life? Yeah, someone stole my bicycle when I was 5 years old. That was very disturbing. I'm not going to go to a mental institution for it. So what you're claiming here is that the bad news on the TV leads people to insanity and committing crimes. Do you see the problem with that argument? Exaggerating the effects of a negative to the point where they're ridiculous is not support that that thing is a negative. Hope you understand that. Okay. In conclusion, I would like to highlight my opinion. Oh no, it was showcased before. My opinion that I strongly agree. I would like to highlight my agreement. I would like to highlight my opinion that the media should. My opinion and strongly agree are sort of the same thing. That the media should telecast, again a non-word, only the problems, but also all of them, all the achievements and inventions, so that the people are less stressed and more inspired. Oh yeah, what about that part? What about broadcasting the positive news? Wasn't that part of the question? Yes, it was. Did you address all parts of the question? No, you did not. That does not count as addressing it. Oh my God, 25 minutes of nonstop berating you for your essay. I feel so bad for you. But you know what? I've met many people, Anjana, who come from where you are. I don't mean necessarily in country-wise, but you know that's true too. But going into the IELTS essay and having been taught that I need to use words like mishaps and commoners and traditions and showcase instead of regular words like learning about stories that regular people. It has become common. It's become normal for dominion owners to highlight. That's what you should have said. Highlight the chaos, the negative aspects of the news. Peace and tranquility. In turn, mental well-being. Better not turn on CNN. No, you'll go insane. Donald Trump would love you. But your IELTS examiner will not. You're looking at, certainly task response is limited to fell well below you deserve because you have good English. And your cohesion and coherence with these moreovers and so many sentences that go on too long and are too complicated and have too many words. Write tight. Meaning write so that words are valuable, that they're rare. You need to fit as much information into them as you can. 323 words, and you didn't have time to talk about all sides of the issue, or all parts of the question. Can we garner any insights over here? One sentence had 80 words. 80 words in one sentence. My goodness. Average sentence is 30. I haven't seen a 30 I can't remember. Like 28, 29, that's high. 30, way too long. Okay, it's the two. Some people, one word density. People, 6 times. That's okay. Some media. All right, so no, not too much of that, but yeah. All right, good luck to you in the future. You can do a lot better than this.